Amaka! Ngozi called. Her spirit rose from the ashes in the bowl, face half burnt, half beauty. Her body floated like smoke. Her eyes locked on Amaka. Give it back, she said. Give me your body, let me live again. Amaka, a 200-level student at Usuka University, walked with a tired feet and a dry throat. Her slippers had almost cut, and her stomach rumpled. She had just 5,000 naira left. She didn't plan to buy anything, but then she saw it. Hanging on a wooden nail at a roadside hair salon stand was the most beautiful wig Amaka had ever seen. It was long, coily, and shiny like black silk. It looked new, like something from a rich salon. The woman selling it wore a red wrapper, heavy beads, and a face that didn't smile. Amaka paused. Auntie, I beg, how much for this wig? She asked, her eyes wide. The woman's voice was deep and slow. 5,000 naira. Amaka had jumped. Only 5,000 for this kind of wig? Is it original hair? She asked. The woman nodded but still didn't smile. Very original. It will look good on you like a queen. A shivering breeze passed. Amaka looked around. People were passing but no one seemed to see the stand. A beggar sitting nearby tugged at her skirt. Her eyes were red. No buyer, he whispered. That hair na trouble. Amaka pulled away embarrassed. Aboki leave me, Joe, she said. Wetin concern you? She turned back to the woman. Madam, I beg, I go buy. The woman wrapped the wig in a black nylon as Amaka paid. Their hands touched. A strange coldness passed through her skin. Her fingers tingled. Be careful how you wear it, the woman said, voice lower than before. Amaka frowned. What do you mean? But the woman just stared at her. No answer. Amaka hurried off, heart beating fast, as she walked back to campus. The black nylon in her bag felt heavy, too heavy for just a wig. She looked behind her once or twice, but no one followed her. She reached her hostel before sunset and showed the wig to her roommates. They all screamed, "Ah, Amaka, you are a lucky girl. This one fits you die." One of them helped her brush it. The wig smelled faintly like ashes. Amaka didn't mind. She was already imagining how fine she would look at tomorrow's lecture. But that night, everything changed. That night, after eating rice and stew with her roommates, Amaka stood in front of the mirror. She wore the new wig and smiled. It fit her head perfectly. Her face looked brighter. Even her skin looked smoother. Fine girl, her friend Ngozi shouted from the top of the bunk. Amaka laughed. Not be small slay queen I be now. But as she turned to remove the wig before sleeping, something strange happened. Her hand paused. She stared into the mirror again. The reflection didn't move. Amaka blinked. The girl in the mirror blinked 2 seconds later. Wetin be this? She whispered, stepping back. Suddenly, the mirror image smiled widely, too widely. The teeth were sharp. The eyes turned red. Then the light in the room blinked once, and the mirror turned normal again. Amaka shook her head. Are they hallucinate? Maybe I just tired. She took up the wig quickly and placed it on the table. Then she lay down to sleep. In the midnight, Amaka turned in bed. Sweat ran down her face. Her body was hot. In her dream, she was standing in a forest. The trees were tall and black. Fire was burning all around her. A girl stood at the center, her skin burned, her eyes full of tears. She was screaming, Amaka! Why are you wearing my crown? Amaka covered her ears. I am sorry. I don't know. The girl stepped forward. Her skin was peeling. Flame rose around her feet. The fire didn't burn the trees. It follows Amaka. You must return what is mine, the girl said. Or your head will burn like mine did. Suddenly, the girl's hand reached for Amaka's forehead. Amaka woke up with a scream. She was shaking. Her bedsheet was wet with sweat. Her head pounded. She touched her face. It was burning hot. Her nose was bleeding. Her roommates rushed to her. Amaka, what is it? Why are you shouting? I had a bad dream. A girl was burning. She called me. Amaka looked around. The wig was still on the table, but now its coil looked darker, wet, like they had been dipped into oil or something else. She didn't tell her friends everything. How could she explain the fire, the scream, the blood? She cleaned her face and pretended to be okay, but deep inside, she knew something was wrong, very wrong. The morning sun rose slowly over the campus. Birds shimmed outside, but inside the hostel, Amaka didn't feel peace. Her eyes were red. She didn't slept well after the nightmare. Her head still hot. She sat up and looked around. The wig was where she left it, on the table, but the hair looked longer and wetter, almost like it had just come out of water. She got up and walked to the bathroom. "Let me just wash my face," she muttered. Amaka stood in front of the bathroom mirror. She turned on the tap and splashed cold water on her face. It felt good. She raised her head and froze. The mirror showed her standing there, but something was off. Her eyes in the mirror were darker. Her mouth was smiling even though she wasn't. Her neck had a thin red line, like someone had cut it. Amaka touched her own neck, but felt nothing. She looked back at the mirror. The reflection smiled wider. Then it whispered, "I told you not to wear it." Amaka screamed and ran out of the bathroom. Her roommate Adeze bumped into her. "Wetin happen? Why you dey run?" Amaka shook her head. "The mirror, it's lying. It showed me something else." Adeze laughed. "Maybe you need sleep or cold pack." "No, I saw a scar on my neck. I was smiling like a stranger." Adeze looked confused. "Are you sure it is not just your dream again?" Amaka didn't answer. She turned to look at the wig. It was no longer on the table. Her heart dropped. "Where is the wig?" she asked, her voice shaking. "I don't know," Adeze replied. "Maybe you put it somewhere." Amaka looked under the bed, on the chair, in her bag, and couldn't find it. Then she heard a laughter. Ha 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 ha, from inside the mirror. But no one was in the bedroom. She stepped closer again. This time, the mirror showed again, sitting on her bed, brushing the same wig. The girl had burnt skin, and she was looking straight at Amaka. Then the light in the room went off. The mirror cracked, a long line from top to bottom. Amaka ran out of the hostel. She didn't care if she was barefoot or that her hair was rough. She needed answers, and she knew who to ask. By afternoon, Amaka forced herself to return to school. She had washed her face and tied a scarf on her head. The missing wig still haunted her, but she told no one, not even Daisy. At the lecture hall, students whispered and jingled. Some stared at Amaka and pointed. She walked in, head down, heart heavy. Her lecturer, Mrs. Obi, gave her a long, sharp look, but said nothing. After class, her friend Shoma ran to her. "Amaka, what happened to your fine hair?" she asked. "You look like a goddess yesterday." Amaka shook her head. "I lost the wig." "Hey, whoa," Shoma gasped. "Don't worry, I have another one you can use. It's even finer." Without waiting, Shoma dug into her bag and brought out a long shiny wig with brown highlights. Amaka hesitated. "Try it now," Shoma smiled. "You can return it later." Slowly, Amaka wore the wig. Her body shivered, like eyes touched her back. She blinked, looked into her phone camera and gasped. Her face was glowing. Her lip looked fuller. Her skin smoother. Even her eyes looked brighter. Shoma clapped. "Ah, Amaka, see fine girl. You resemble beauty queen." As they walked out of the class, something strange happened. People turned. Boys who never greeted her before rushed to open the door. A lecturer paused and said, "Young lady, have you ever thought of modeling?" Even the cleaner bowed slightly and said, "God really created you well." Amaka smiled, but inside, she felt something was not right. Then it happened. As they crossed the school gate, a stranger grabbed her hand. "Don't let her touch you," he shouted. It was the same beggar from the roadside. Take it off now." "Leave me alone," Amaka cried. The security man chased the beggar away. "Madman," one boy said. "He don't craze." Amaka turned to Shoma. "Did you see that man?" Shoma was staring into space without saying a word. "Shoma," she asked. Shoma looked at her, blinking. "I felt something." She whispered, "Behind you." What? Amaka asked. A girl, her skin was burnt. She stood beside you. Then she disappeared. Amaka felt her chest tightened. She pulled off the wig quickly. Her head felt lighter. The sky looked brighter. The charm had faded. But now she knew something for sure. It wasn't the wig, it was her. And something or someone was following her. That night, rain fell in soft drops on the zinc of the hostel. Amaka could not sleep. Her eyes stayed open, face on the corner where the wig had once been. The room was quiet, too quiet. She stood up slowly and went to her bag. The same black nylon the bag came in. I must know the truth, she whispered. Her fingers dug deep inside. At the bottom, they touched something hard and rough. She pulled it out. It was a half-burnt newspaper, stained and smelling like ash. The headline read, "Beautiful student dies in mysterious fire. Head shaved before death." Amaka's heart stopped. She looked at the picture. A smiling girl, dark skin, bright eyes, and the same exact wig she bought. Her name was Ngozi Naji, a final year student. She had won a local beauty pageant and was loved by everyone. But the paper said something strange. Her death was suspected to be part of an occult sacrifice, as strange marks were found around her burnt body. Police says her hair was cleanly shaved before the fire. Amaka dropped the paper. No wonder the wig felt too cold, too heavy. She stared at the mirror, but this time she didn't see herself. She saw Ngozi again, crying, burning. "I want my crown back," the reflection said. Amaka screamed. Adeze sat up from the bed. "Wetin be that again? Dream?" Amaka shook her head. "Adeze, I think the wig belonged to a girl that died in the fire. She was sacrificed. Her name was Ngozi. She wore the same wig." Adeze's eyes widened. "Amaka, we must go to Mama Uju." Later that morning, they went to a quiet part of the town. Behind an old market stood a clay house with red chalk mark on the wall. This was Mama Uju, the village prophetess. The woman opened the door even before they knocked. "I knew you would come," she said. Amaka's leg shook. Mama Uju looked deep into her eyes. "You wore fire on your head," she said. "The girl Ngozi was not just killed, she was chosen. Her beauty was used to feed spirit. Her hair is cursed." Amaka began to cry. "What do I do?" Mama Uju pointed at a black pot. "We must perform the fire cleansing ritual before her spirit enters your body. If you wait too long, you will become her." Amaka stepped back. "You mean I am changing?" Mama Uju nodded. "You laugh like her. You see what others can't. Her soul is looking for a home." The room was dark. The candle Mama Uju lit went off like they were afraid. Amaka sat on a mat, her hands shaking. Beside her, Adeze held a calabash filled with salt and palm oil. Mama Uju began to chant, "White sacrifice, red sacrifice. Evil cannot live here." She poured out a native chalk in a circle around Amaka. Then she placed the black nylon and the burnt newspaper in the circle. As the smoke from the fire rose, Amaka felt her body grow cold. Her ears buzzed like bees were inside them. Then a knock came. Kokoko, kokoko, kokoko. Someone was knocking, but it was not the door. It was the wall. 3 soft knocks. Then everywhere was silent. Mama Uju's eyes widened. "Don't answer it. Don't speak." The knock came again, this time from under the floor. Kokoko, kokoko, kokoko. Amaka began to cry. "She is here." Suddenly, Adeze screamed, "Look!" The mirror on Mama Uju's wall was shaking. The words were writing themselves on the glass. "I want my face. I want my name. I want my crown." Then a handprint, burnt, black and shaking, appeared on the mirror. Mama Uju shouted, "She is near. You must finish the cleansing." She threw palm oil into the fire. The flames turned blue. Amaka screamed as the fire grew tall, so tall it almost touched the ceiling. In the fire, she saw a vision. Ngozi standing in a school hostel. Her face was smiling, but her eyes were empty. Meanwhile, back at the hostel, Shoma sat alone on the lower bunk. She had been feeling sick all day. Her skin itched, her stomach turned anytime she looked at Amaka's bed. Suddenly, her mouth opened on its own. She began to speak, but the voice wasn't her. "Where is my hair?" the voice said. It was Ngozi's voice. Her roommate Ijoma stood up. Shoma, why are you talking like that? Shoma turned to her slowly. Her eyes were black. I want it back. Tell Amaka I am waiting. Then Shoma fainted. The light went off. The mirror cracked. Back at Mama Uju's house, Amaka fell to the ground shaking. I saw her again. She's inside the hostel. She spoke through Shoma. Mama Uju placed a white cloth over Amaka's head. You are not safe yet. The spirit is hungry. He doesn't want to be free. He wants to live again in you. Amaka looked up, tears rolling down her cheeks. Then how do I stop her? She asked. The sky turned dark before evening. Clouds gathered like angry spirits. Thunder rolled over the hills as Amaka walked quickly down the lonely path near the school gate. She had to get to Mama Uju again. She needed answer fast. Her heart beat fast. Her eyes were tired. Her feet ached from walking. She didn't care. Then the rain came. Slow at first, then heavy, like buckets of water were falling from the sky. Amaka pulled her scarf over her head and ran. The road was almost empty. Most students had gone inside. Only one or two stayed under the shade. She had crossed a narrow corner near the school fence. She saw her, again standing under the rain, but her clothes were dry. Not one drop touched her. Her hair was wet, not from the rain, but from something else. Something dark and sticky. Amaka stopped. Her leg refused to move. The girl turned around slowly. It was Ngozi. Her skin was black with burns. Her eyes glowed red. Her lips were dry but moving. She was smiling. Amaka, why are you running from me? You are wearing my crown. You are walking in my life. I want it back. Amaka opened her mouth to scream, but no sound came out. Ngozi took one step forward. Rain still didn't touch her. Amaka stepped back. Then Ngozi raised her hand. Blood started dropping. Dark blood dripping from her fingers. Suddenly, Amaka's nose started to bleed. A slow, thick drop. Then another. Then more. She gasped, wiped her face, and saw her hand covered in blood. Her knees gave way. She fell to the ground. Her eyes blurred. She could still see Ngozi walking towards her. Not in a hurry. Not in fear. Just coming. Like she already knew Amaka couldn't run anymore. Amaka tried to call out, but her voice was gone. The last thing she saw was Ngozi's face leaning close, and then everything went black. Later that night, Amaka woke up in the school clinic. A bandage was on her nose. Her head was on a pillow. Adeze sat beside her, tears in her eyes. You fainted on the road, she whispered. Someone saw you and called help. Amaka sat up slowly. Where is the wig? Adeze looked confused. Which one? Is it the first one or the black one? It is back. I felt it in my dream, Amaka said. Adeze stood. We must go back to Mama Uju tomorrow. We can't fight this alone. Amaka nodded, but deep inside, she knew Ngozi was no longer outside. She was inside her now. The next morning, the sun rose, but the air still felt cold in Amaka's room. Her roommate had gone for class. Only Adeze stayed behind, watching Amaka closely. Amaka sat on her bed, staring at her notebook. Her hand moved fast. She didn't know what she was writing. Strange marks, circles, eyes, and fire. She didn't stop until Adeze shouted, Amaka, what did you draw? Amaka looked down. The page was full. Black ink, red ink. Words she didn't understand. I don't know. I just started writing. My hand moved on its own. Adeze stepped back. You are scaring me. Then Amaka laughed. It wasn't a laugh. It was too soft, too cold, too much like Ngozi. Amaka covered her mouth. What's happening to me? Just then, her phone buzzed. A message from her lecturer, Mr. Okonkwo. Come to my office now. I need to see you alone. It is urgent. 30 minutes later, Amaka walked into the old arts building. The hall was empty. The light blinked. She knocked on the office door. Enter, the voice said. Mr. Okonkwo was sitting beside his desk. He looked tired, paled. He pointed at the chair. Sit, Amaka. She sat quietly. He stared at her. I've been watching you, he said. Your face, your voice, your energy has changed. Amaka's heart skipped. What do you mean, sir? Mr. Okonkwo took a deep breath. Do you know a girl named Ngozi Naji? Amaka's eyes widened. Yes, I thought her too, he said. She was special. Too special. Some people in this school use her. He stood up slowly. They use her beauty for power, for evil, and now I think she's using you. Amaka wanted to speak, but her tongue felt heavy. Mr. Okonkwo stepped forward. I don't think you came here alone, he whispered. There's someone else in you. Suddenly, the window behind him shattered. The wind blew into the room. Books fell. The light bulb popped. Mr. Okonkwo screamed, holding his head. He looked at Amaka one last time. Run! Go back to where it began. Burn it before it's too late. Then he fell to the floor shaking. Amaka ran out. She didn't stop until she reached the hostel gate. Her body felt cold. Her eyes itched. In her reflection on a glass window, she saw something. Her face, but with Ngozi burnt eyes. The wind hollowed outside Amaka's window. It was past midnight. Her roommates were fast asleep, but Amaka couldn't close her eyes. Mr. Okonkwo's voice echoed in her head. Go back to where it began. Burn it before it's too late. She sat up and pulled out her school bag. The wig was back inside. She had not touched it since she fainted, but somehow it returned. The coil looked darker now, tighter, and the smell like old smoke and palm oil mixed with blood. She took a deep breath and held the wig close. Then she saw it. A small hidden stitch on the inside lining. It looked rough, like it had been done in a hurry. Amaka grabbed a razor blade from her drawer and cut the seam open. Her hands shook. Inside the wig, something fell out, a small black cloth, tied tightly. She unwrapped it. A piece of burnt paper, dried ash, and a tiny cowrie's bead, covered in red dust. The paper had symbols on it, like the ones she had been drawing without knowing, but on the back was a map. It showed a path outside town. A red dot was marked, with 5 words written there, the mark of the shrine. Amaka's throat went dry. She had heard of that place, a hill behind the old palm grove, abandoned, silent. People said it was where pretty girls disappeared during school beauty contests. She wrapped the items back and stood up. She must go there now, before Ngozi's spirit swallowed her whole. That same night, Amaka and Adaeze stood at the start of the palm grove, holding a wood light. The trees whispered as they walked. It felt like the bush was watching them. After 1 hour of walking, they saw it. A small clay house, cracked and broken, stood on a hill. Red beads hung at the entrance. Ash covered the ground. Inside, old wigs hung from the roof. Some were still wet. Some had names stitched inside. Ngozi, Kelechi, Mira. Adaeze knee buckled. These are the missing girls. A large bowl sat in the center, filled with bones and ashes. Amaka stepped forward. This is where they killed her. She held the wig in both hands. I must finish it here. But then, a voice spoke from the shadows. You came too late. A woman stepped out, the same roadside stylist. Her eyes were black like charcoal. You wore her crown. Now you must wear her soul. Amaka looked down. The wig in her hand was burning, but there was no fire, and the ground beneath her feet began to crack. The clay wall shook as wind rushed through the shrine. Old wigs danced in air like angry spirits. Amaka stood at the center, holding the cursed wig. Flames burned at the end of the hair, but they didn't spread. It was burning, but not burning. Beside her, Adaeze held the wood light tight and cried, We must leave. This place is evil. Amaka shook her head. No. If I leave, she will follow me forever. I must finish this. The strange woman, the roadside stylist, stepped closer. Her skin peeled like snake scales. Her eyes were deep holes. She was chosen, the woman said, with her voice cracking. Ngozi was our beauty. Her blood feeds us. But you wear her crown without permission. The ground cracked beneath Amaka's feet. A scream rose from the earth. Then came the voice. Amaka! Ngozi called. Her spirit rose from the ashes in the bowl, face half burnt, half beauty. Her body floated like smoke. Her eyes locked on Amaka. Give it back, she said. Give me your body. Let me live again. Amaka stepped into the shock cycle Mama Uju had drawn earlier in the cloth she brought. She held the wig with both hands and shouted, I am not your own. You are dead. Ngozi, your spirit hangs here. She poured the palm oil from the small gob onto the wig. Then she took her daisy lighter and lit it. Real fire this time. The wig screamed, not like an object, but like a girl. The spirit of Ngozi twisted in pain. Her eyes turned to dust. The ground shook harder. The hairstylist wailed, holding her head. No! You have broken the bond. Suddenly the shrine began to fall. The roof cracked. The wigs on the wall turned to ash. Run! Amaka shouted, grabbing her Daisy's hand. They ran through the forest, not looking back as the shrine burned behind them. Ngozi's voice faded into wind, and then silence. 3 days later, back at the hostel, peace returned. Amaka no longer heard voices. Her face was hers again. The mirror showed only her reflection and nothing else. Adeze smiled. So it is over. Amaka nodded. Yes, the wig is gone. Ngozi had rested. She looked into the mirror once more. This time, she whispered a prayer. For every guest whose beauty was stolen, whose voice was silenced, may your soul find light. Moral lesson. Don't ever wear a treasure wig. Not everything that looks good is good for you. Sometimes, what we accept, whether it is a gift, a trend, or a quick opportunity, comes with a hidden story, and that story may not be safe. Before you take anything into your life, ask, where did this come from? Who did it belong to? What price was paid for it? Because what you wear, carry, or follow, carry pain, curses, or unfinished stories. These tales reminds us, be careful what you accept, be mindful of what you follow, and never take anything just because it is cheap, shiny, or popular. Your life is too precious to carry someone else's burden in disguise. Protect your mind, protect your spirit, ask questions, choose wisely. Thank you for watching till the end. Drop your opinion of how you feel about the story in the comment section. Does Amaka did wrong for buying a second-hand wig? See you in my next video. Bye.